tummy rumble? Hello? 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 I should probably get rid of this thing. Oh. Before you ask. Okay. Why? Oh, before you ask. Okay. I don't think you can ask. Wait, why isn't it? It's like, there. Nope. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Oh, technical difficulties. Why isn't this working? Nothing ever goes my way. Can this work now, please? Bam! Where? Oh my goodness. Why does this always happen to me? It's okay, my reindeer ears don't have to be in frame. Hi! Oh shoot, I have a very long neck today. I have a super long neck today. Anyways, hi! Can you hear me okay? Oh, I hope you can hear me okay. Here, I'll turn it down so that way you guys don't have to hear the silly, thunder in the background, okay? Thank you, Ice Neck, for the member. Long neck, giraffe. And I would say I'm a little bit of a giraffe at times. We have this really bad storm, raining over my little area, and I was just thinking, because my power went out, and I was like, maybe I should stream. Maybe that would be pretty cool. Maybe that would be pretty nice, you know? And I would really like to talk to you all about random stuff, but right now, I have been thinking a lot about morality and the categorical imperative and just stuff in general. Why are you thinking about this, Moka? Because I have nothing better to do with my life. Obviously, I mean, you know what they say, the best philosophers have nothing to do in their life whatsoever. And that is why they're so deep in thought, because they're unemployed bastards that can't keep a job, and that are really, they have a lot of free time on their hands, if you know what I mean. You need big bros who come for you during the storm. Yes, I also need to release my schizophrenic philosophical ideals and ideations onto you. Are we philosophers? Yes. You know, everyone can be a philosopher. You know, philosophy stands for love of wisdom. That is what it directly translates to in Greek. I think it was Greek at least. Didn't realize my gift is ended. Thank you. I got a hurricane. Okay, that's even worse than what I have. We just have some like electric thunder or whatever it's called. Some land thunder. Something like that. I know this isn't my usual time slot, but I was really bored, and I need to talk to someone. Anyone. Could be anyone. I'm currently one that have no job. So real. There have been homeless floaties. It's true. If you look at Diogenes, the cynic, he lived in a barrel. Or was it what's it called? A pot. A clay pot. It was one of those. Pretty sure it was one of those two things. Hi. Hi. Man, it's pretty late. And it's a Monday. Well, I guess it'll be a Tuesday soon. Unfortunately, I don't have the whole, whatchamacallit, the whole privilege of becoming a philosopher because I am employed by being a cute girl on the internet. If you can even consider being that. You know, I sell lemonade. I run my own little lemonade stand. Lemonade, $5, made of my piss. Come right up. If you want some piss cups, $5 each. Or if you want a petting zoo, and I will be the pet. And I will charge you $5 per pet. This will be Karl Marx's worst fear. But we don't care about Karl Marx. We don't care about Karl Marx. That is cheap. Yeah, $5 per 1 fluid ounce of piss. Mix it with actual lemonade. I'll mix it with milk so it curdles. I'll mix it with milk so it curdles. And it separates, and all the milk goes up to the top. Oh no, all the milk goes up to the bottom because milk is denser than pee, I think. I'm not sure. I'm no scientist, right? I'm just a thinker. I'm just a fond thinker, okay? I just think. Therefore, I am? Okay. That was a bad pun. Someone clap. Someone laugh, please. Please clap. You can call me Jeb if you'd like. Yeah, we could do a petting zoo. Wouldn't that be so cool? $5 per pet? That would suck so bad. You know, I've actually seen videos of little kids setting up like petting zoos. But like the animal is like what's it called? Their dog, and they're like, yep, just go on and pat Charlie the dog for $5 per 3 pets. Oh no, you can't exceed more than 4 pets, so it'll cost you an extra 5 buckaroos. It's really funny. No, but I unfortunately do not have the privilege of becoming a full-time philosopher, full-time thinker, although I am burdened by what is and what isn't constantly. It's okay though. It's okay. But anyways, before I get into my my pitch, my proposal to you guys, I would like to say hi to you all. So if you want to say hi, Moka, in chat, I'll say hi to you back. And also, if you haven't noticed, my lisp has gotten a lot better since when I first got my palatal expander. But that's because I've been relentlessly practicing how to like talk and enunciate words, because it's so bad. It's so bad. It really sucks. It really sucks. Burdened by the lisp. By the lisp. Hello, Tsunami. Hello, Dragon1797. Hello, Creepy RD-san. Hello, T-Rex. Hello, Senko, question mark. Hello, Esther Ruth. Hi, Expanded Moka. Hello. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Electroid. Hello. Hi, Flight042. Hi, Noah. Can I get a parallel contractor to bring the list back? Okay, if I don't try at all, this is what I sound like. This is what I sound like if I don't try at all to fix my lisp. It's really stupid. It's really stupid sounding, and I sound like a total like. I sound like a total like nasally nerd. But when I actually try to like enunciate my words, I sound like a total normal little lad, normal little lady. No, the lisp is not W. The lisp isn't W. The lisp is L. I bet you guys like the lisp though. Maybe I should talk normally and just pretend the lisp is just not there. But you can barely understand me when I do speak with my lisp. With my lisp. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. Hi, Snack. Hello. And hello to all the lurkers. I never forget about you all. Kiss to the lurkers. Let's space more. Ew, it's so gross. I hate it. I hate it so bad. Anyways, I got expanded yesterday. Which sounds really weird in retrospect, but my mom has to turn my key because I can't do it myself because I can't look at the inside of my mouth in the mirror. It's just really hard, guys. It's just really hard. So my mom turns the key for me, and I got expanded yesterday, which actually made no difference whatsoever. So I've gotten a total of 3 turns so far out of the 20 I had to do. So 20 minus 3, that is 17. Yes, 17. I hate baby spit too. No, it's not baby spit. It's not baby spit. The spit buildup sucks. It does. Hold on. Let me charge up my my expander with lots of spit. It is so freaking gross. It's so gross. It's so gross. It's so gross. I hate it so bad. But anyways, it's gotten way better. I feel like I can finally... Although sometimes when I do talk to people, I'm like, would you like anything to drink? Would you like anything to drink? And it sounds so dumb. So I have to like, do you want anything to drink, madame? I have to do that. And they look at me like I'm crazy, and it's like, sorry. But I remember the worst interaction I've had so far with my expander and my lisp is when I was explaining the menu to someone, and they were like, huh? I literally do not understand a word that just came out of your mouth. And I was like, the buffet is $21.95 per person. To be fair, I did kind of slur my words a lot. It was like the day after I got my expander. So I was like, yeah, so the buffet is $21.95. Would you like to play a cash card? And they were like, what the actual F did you just freaking say to me, you little girl? What the F did you just say? And I was like, the buffet is $21.95 per person. Cash or card, brokey. The spit got in your mouth when you speak because of the thing. So far I haven't really seen any spit come out of my mouth. I think maybe 2 times probably. I'm not a very spitty person. I would say that my buck teeth kind of block out all the spit projection because I always speak with my buck teeth. So it's always you know what I mean? So it's not really, it's always blocked. bite either like my lip or my buck teeth. I'm a little bunny. I'm a little bunny. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering, Moka, why are you wearing reindeer antlers and the Christmas sweater with a Christmas tree? Mind your business, mind your own beeswax, sir. Mind your own beeswax. You know, Christmas in July or whatever. Well, I mean, it's the middle of August. Oh my god, it's the middle of August. What the actual F? Where did the time go? It's almost September. Do you remember? 21st night. September. No. But I can do whatever I want because I am not bound by the societal norms and the constructs of society. So, mind your business, you old man, you old geezer. Mind your business, you filthy old man. God forbid a little girl goes out of her way to dress up for Christmas in July, even though it is August and almost September. I want another month of summer. I actually can't do summer anymore. I really can't do it. I can't. I get into my mom's car and it's just like heat trapped. And it's like, can I just kill myself now? Can I just like murder myself? Can I just jump off of a freaking cliff now, please? It's hard. It's rough out here. I hate it. But anyways, Moka, what is your stream title? What is the categorical imperative? Okay. This is the burning question, guys. This is the burning question. And I would like you to buckle down for a little philosophy lesson. So, the categorical imperative is I guess what you would call it would be like it's not really a mood per se, but it's like a concept. A concept. It is a concept. It's a concept. It's an idea popularized by the great Immanuel Kant, an 18th century philosopher, a philosopher, if you will. He's a little Russian man. Russian. Whoa. He's not Russian. He's German, and he's from Königsberg. So he is He is from Königsberg. You know, the land of the little girls. But anyways, he was like really. He's a little background on Mr. Immanuel Kant. He is a German philosopher from Königsberg, Germany. Is Königsberg in Germany? I don't even know. I just know that he's from Königsberg. I don't know why that's like the detail that like just. Yeah, he's the original König philosopher. It's true. Anyways, this guy was like weird, right? This guy is like super like meticulous with what he does. Like, fun fact, he says that he had never lied a day in his life, which is kind of hard to believe. I mean, with the actual WLG hockey sticks, you know what I mean? What a freak. I mean, everyone lies, at least in one point, even if it's just like a little white lie, even if it's just like a little big, massive lie. Everyone lies. Like, if someone tells you, how are you? Oh, I'm good, thank you. When you're actually feeling super down in the dumps, that is technically lying. So, either he's like morality god number one, morality forever, since he was like a little baby, or he's just full of shit, you know? But anyways, he was so obsessed with like being so meticulous and on time, and like he literally had his like whole like schedule like already laid out and set out, and it's just like, what a freak, you know? Maybe he was autistic and was just like, oh no, he's just like this super cool, mysterious little lad. But anyways, I have to think about the next piece of information that I'm about to spew out. He used to always go out on daily walks. That was part of his routine. I forgot what. Whoa, I just saw thunder. Anyways, I forgot what else he had like done in his routine. Like he was like a calendar before like phones existed, if you know what I mean. So basically, I bet this guy woke up one morning, probably like after eating like the same shit he eats all day. Oh my. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys? How? That was so weird. Okay, sorry for like setting my mic all the way up to 100. But like thunder just struck. Thunder just struck, and then the car horn's like beep beep beep. Bro, actually stupid. Anyways, I just totally derailed my whole train of thought. Most beginners often see. I know. So anyways, this guy probably wakes up one morning, probably after eating the same stupid boring breakfast, and he's like, "What if morality was like a math equation? What if morality was math, but like without it being math? You know what I mean? Boom." And that was categorical imperative. And you know, this is what's really funny, you know? It sounds really like intimidating. Like it's gonna involve his like ominous German accent, as per someone said. Yeah, Germans are pretty truthful, probably. I mean, I've never met a German person in my life. I think, at least. Maybe I have without like knowing. But like, it's really just him saying, okay, imagine, before you do a thing, imagine if literally everyone else did that exact same thing. Would the world implode? Like, if yes, then don't do it. And if no, then go ahead. You get the gist? So it's like, if the world is like gonna feel the adverse effects of what you do, maybe you shouldn't do it. And if everyone else did the same exact thing you did, would the world blow up into flames? You have to think about it. So basically, for example, let's say I go out to eat at a restaurant and I don't tip. Right? And I don't tip. Would it be okay if everyone else in the world didn't tip too? Would it be okay? Would it be okay? Would it not be okay? Because then every single waitress and waiter won't get their salary because they're making like $2 an hour. They live off of tips. Or for example, if I go to a coffee shop and I'm the worker and I spit in someone's coffee, would it be okay if everyone else just spat into everyone else's coffee? No, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. That's absurd. That is literally absurd. That is literally dumb. So, imagine this, right? You're in line at a bakery. And you want to cut in front of someone because your croissant craving is existential. And then Mr. Immanuel Kant pops up like some morality fairy godfather and whispers, imagine if everyone cut the line. There would be no line. Only chaos. Ergo no croissant. Therefore wait your turn, peasant. You know what I mean? But you know, it's really not just about the croissant, and it's not about tipping, and it's not about me spitting into everyone's coffee. Sadly, it is about lying, stealing. breaking promises. Like, Kant was basically trying to create a moral antivirus software. Rules that just basically keep human society from collapsing and turning into literally, like I said, chaos. That would freaking suck. The downfall of society starts with individuals. It's true. It is true. It is true. It is true. Flip the script. What if I gave free coffee to a man drenched from the rain? Wouldn't society, the shop, collapse due to the unprecedented cost? It would collapse because, you know, the right thing to do in that moment would be to ignore the man. I'm joking. I guess in that situation, is it really up to you to dictate how this man is going to spend the rest of his day after being drenched in the rain? Is it your moral duty to go out of your way and to take care of the drenched man? Is it? If everyone else didn't tip, it would be okay because the business would pay them a proper salary. But if you individually don't tip, that is immoral. Yes, you see, there are lots of different things that like change after you think about the consequences that will arise from them. You know, for example, like if the societal norm is to just be mean and evil, people who are nice are the outliers and they will be looked down upon. You know what I mean? So it's like, if everyone else did the same thing, then this thing would be different and then it would affect literally everything else. And it's so freaked up, man. It's so freaked up. So you have to bring out the good or bad everyone can agree on? Yes. And this is what he means by categorical. So basically, categorical means set into place, set into stone. It's basically just like, whatchamacallit. It's already something, it's a custom that everyone has. Like, can I just search up the definition of categorical? This will be better for me. Categorical. An unconditional moral obligation which is binding in all circumstances and not... An unconditional moral obligation which is binding in all circumstances and is not dependent on a person's inclination or purpose. What does this mean? What does it mean? What does this mean, Moka? What do you mean, Moka? What do you mean? What this means is basically, it is an unconditional moral obligation, which means, to break it down, it is an obligation that is set in stone, that is binding no matter what. So it's a stone. It's a stone, and you can't move that stone. And just because you want to move the stone doesn't mean you can't. Just because you're feeling sad doesn't mean you can move the stone just because you want to. Just because you want to. Just because you want to. No, you can't do it. You can't do that. But anyways, what's really funny about Kant is that he never actually traveled more than an hour away from his hometown of Königsberg. So here's this guy who never left Mr. Königsberg. Mr. Königsberg, I feel like Mr. Königsberg would be a man. Königsberg, the town Königsberg. And he just never left Königsberg. And he's out here trying to rewrite universal code for all human beings forever. You know, I respect him. I respect his ideologies and his thoughts, and I do follow him more than I follow any other philosopher. But like, imagine not even like going to what's the capital city of Germany? Berlin? And deciding you have literally cracked the code to society and the universe. And you know what? He also thought that you shouldn't even lie to a murderer if they ask you where your friend is hiding. Like, I remember in... What's the book called? It's like the metaphysics of morality, something like that. Metaphysical morality by Kant as well. It's like the metaphysics of morality in extra works. He says, you shouldn't lie to a murderer if they ask you where your friend is hiding. Even if your friend, like, I forgot how he said it. It's like, okay, imagine you're in the house. Imagine you're in a little house. And your friend comes to visit you. And he's like, yo, bro, can you hide me in your house? You're like, yeah, sure. And your friend goes into the house. And then the murderer comes up to your house and is like, hey, is your friend staying here? You have to say yes. Because what if you let the murderer inside your house and your friend already knows that you're not going to lie and escapes through the back door? If you say no, then the murderer will walk away and then he'll see your friend after your friend made the miraculous escape from your house. And although that is like really, 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 really unlikely to happen, Kant is like, well, you really shouldn't lie because that would really, really, really suck if that happened. Wouldn't the world be better with your friend in it? Well, yes, but in this situation, your friend is basically being shit. Because you didn't lie. Because you didn't lie, okay? You did not lie. Like, basically that's what categorical imperative is. Just basically lying is always wrong. Which is very bold, you know? But like I said, it's really, really not practical if, like, some murderer is, like, holding, like, a machete and asking, like, hey, so, your buddy, is he in your basement? No, he's not in my basement. Okay, I'll just go ask this house over. And your friend is already at the next house over, doing the same thing. And it's like, maybe we shouldn't lie. But yeah, he basically built this whole moral archetype where everything has to, like, fit together perfectly. And, like, if you just don't do it perfectly, then the world collapses. Boom. And it's like, that's the categorical imperative in a nutshell. Is withholding information considered lying? Yes, it depends on how you word it, though. Now the man has your house surrounded and burns it down. Well, that would be an issue, of course. I mean, as long as you didn't lie, then you didn't break the code of the imperative. So I mean, nice. I believe it is an impractical example, yes. But that is how Kant says it. That is how Kant says it in the Metaphysical Morals. That's betrayal, though. You're specifically giving safe asylum with your home and you're betraying them. But then, if your friend knows that you're exactly like Kant, he's like, yeah, this guy is never gonna lie to me. He's never gonna lie to anyone. He's never gonna lie. But anyways, what is the opposite of the categorical imperative, Moka, you may ask? Well, that is something we can say is consequential morality. So that's basically like, you know how Kant is like, rules. Never lie. Even a murderer asks about your bestie. And consequentialists are like, what actually happens, though? You know? Like, what actually happens if you lie? If you don't do this? If you do this? What happens? So imagine you've got Jeremy Bentham, this British dude who was way too into being really interesting. If you know something about Jeremy Bentham, he's like a little freak. A little masochist of sorts. Although I'm not too into his personal life and what he did in his free time. He's basically like, we can do the math on morality, add up happiness points, subtract suffering points. Boom. We have a moral calculator. What does this mean, Moka? What does this mean? It basically means you can lie. It depends. It depends. It just really depends. That's basically what he's saying. It just depends. Consequentialism. Let me explain. Let me search up the meaning of consequentialism. Consequentialism. the doctrine that the morality of an action is to be judged solely by its consequences. So really, it depends. It depends. Withholding information is not lying. You're not fulfilling reality to simply not inform them of things that you know. They're entitled to that. True. But if someone asks you, do you know about this? And you're like, no, that is lying. The effects of withholding information can have the same effects of lying. Then comes the morality of result versus action. For instance, if you withhold information that accused murder is innocent and withhold that information and the man is executed. Yeah. We see a lot of that stuff with like false trials, false accusations, if you know. That would be really, really, really immoral, accusing someone of a crime that they didn't do. That would be super immoral. And that would freaking suck. But yeah, I basically imagine Mr. Bentham sitting there with a giant chalkboard being like, if I kick this rock, 0 happiness. If I kick this guy, -10 happiness. If I give him a cookie, +20 happiness. Conclusion? Maybe I should give this guy a cookie. So, he's basically like, the best ending is the path you should take. Just gaslight yourself until you believe your own lies. Now it's not lying. True. And then boom, you manifest. Lying is good and bad. Lying to a mourning widow about her husband's lots of words saying they were, tell my wife I love her, versus, is a pretty okay lie. No lie is okay. No lie is okay. In Kant's categorical imperative world, no lie is okay. Unfortunately, hey, I don't make the rules, okay? That's just Kant. And then John Stuart Mill, he is like Mr. Bentham's like heir to consequentialism, but also kind of like, hey Dad, can you stop embarrassing me in front of my philosophy club members? And I was like, okay, yes. But it's not about the quantity of pleasure, it's about the quality too. Like, listening to Mozart is higher value than eating 57 tacos in a row. Although, I guess it depends on what tacos you're eating, Sometimes tacos are better than Mozart, but sometimes Mozart is better than tacos. Although your tummy will hurt a lot after you eat the 57 tacos in a row. You know what's funny though? Bentham actually had his body preserved after death in a cabinet, sitting in a chair dressed up in his clothes. It's really weird. So imagine being a student at university, college, whatever, in London, walking into class and you see the mummified founding father of utilitarianism, chilling in a glass case like some kind of Oscar Crow professor, kind of like Snow White, That isn't a metaphor. Unfortunately, that's real, Utilitarianism is haunted. But okay, what's consequential morality in action? Okay, let's talk about croissants again, right? Pretend you're in line at the bakery again. You want to cut the line. A consequentialist says, will this action make the world better or worse overall? If everyone in line gets super mad, society is like -50 happiness points. You're up 5 from the croissant, and your net total, -45. Bad move. But what if you cut in front of a billionaire who's on the way to raise rent on everyone in town, and the delay makes them miss their meeting, and the town celebrates forever? Boom! Suddenly, croissant theft is an utilitarian W. The problem with this, though, is that it could get wild. Like, imagine lying to the murderer at the door. A consequentialists like lie, obviously. You'll save a life. Net happiness boost. Boom. Morality solved. But sometimes it leads to, like, you know, if sacrificing one guy saves 10, should we do it? And then you're stuck playing the trolley problem simulator at 3 a.m. with no save button, which I would personally not interfere with, you know, me personally. With the trolley problem, I would not interfere with, killing 1, saving 5. I would, just kill the 5. It's not my problem. It's not my issue. I was in place on this earth to play the trolley god. It's just not me. It's just not me at all. Why is it weird that lying is bad? Lying is bad. I mean, it's basically a 10 commandments. It's not weird to think lying is bad when objectively lying is bad, and regardless of what lie it is, a lie is looked down upon. Even if it's just a little white lie, even if it's like you're doing good by lying, it's not good. It's not good because you're withholding the truth. And sometimes it's better to face truth than the utmost sugar-coated reality. Although some people don't really like the sugar-coated, the non-sugar-coated version. You know what I mean? Okay, let me read up on chat. Thank you, Flutter, for the fun gift day. But what is true is relative to the imperative representation of power at the current time. It's true. It's true, it's true, it's true. The societal norms play a huge role in what is good and what is bad. So, I guess it is, a dependent variable of sorts. But you don't have all the information frequently to make such a decision. It's true, you really don't. You just have to eyeball it. Which is why morality is such a good concept and such an amazing brain system. I can't stop thinking about it. Can't stop, won't stop. What if you lied because you enjoyed it and it has nothing to do with your worldview? Then you are a psychopath. I think that's what's called pathological lying. Lying is literally bad because you inject false hopes as information, etc. and all that. True, you do. You do. What about what you think is true is a lie? Then that is, dependent on the situation you are involved in. Lying has its purpose. When the cashier asks how your day is, do you answer, I have had a terrible day? Well, unless you're German from Königsberg, then you will say, I have had a terrible day. My wife died. My children are dying from the flu. Or whatever they died from back in the day in Germany. Hi, Moka. Hi, Mr. Wayne Idiot. What about your girlfriend asking about if she looks fat in the dress? You know, you have the option of just smiling and just not saying anything. That's basically not lying. That's basically not lying. Hey, big brother, do you think I look fat in this dress? Zip. Big brother says nothing. Although, little sister might be like, that is weird. He's trying to say nothing. You could just smile and say you look pretty. It's true, you could just change the conversation. You don't have to, like, head on confront the situation at hand. Just be like, I like your hair today, which is something true. Maybe you do like your hair. Maybe you do like her hair, but you think she looks fat. Science can be lying in some circumstances. But withholding information is lying. Oh my god, no, I'm contradicting myself. Withholding information is only bad if someone is asking you, are you withholding information? And you're like, no, I am not withholding information. When you are withholding information, boom. That's settled with. But yeah, consequentialism is a moral cost-benefit analysis. It's basically ethics, but with spreadsheets, and its lore is forever cursed by the fact that Jeremy Bethams is technically attending meetings at a college as a corpse in a box. So, Cant versus Consequentialists. The finale of sorts. So on one side, you've got Cant, wig powdered, because, you know, he had that little wig. The little wig. He's all like, morality is about duty, not vibes. You don't get to make exceptions even if the exception would be convenient. Rules are rules, and rules keep society from collapsing into a hot mess. He's basically like the ethics hall monitor of sorts. And then across the ring, you've got Mr. Bentham, or like Mr. Mummified Mill, waving their spreadsheets around saying, no. Consequences are all that matter. You can't just follow rules blindly. Sometimes breaking the rules leads to way more happiness. Save 10 lives by lying to a murderer? Duh. They're like ethics accountants who always want to run what-if scenarios. So, the problem. Both parties dunk on each other. Consequentialists think Kant is like, an NPC of sorts. He's always like, never lie. Like, he's just like a RuneScape NPC. Same outcome, same output all the time. Never lie. Don't lie. Lying bad. Are you reading a book? Where did you get the categorical imperative idea from? From my class on social justice. Yay! Yay, philosophy. Cam was like, Can't, do you like the food? No, it's awful. Can't get out of my house. Wait, that's so sad though. He's just being honest. Kant had no girlfriend. Yeah, he didn't. I think. He died single. He died a wizard. But yeah, Mr. NPC Kant, he's like, never lie. Even like, if like a freaking hurricane is storming over, just never lie. Kantians think consequentialists are chaotic, willing to bend rules until they snap as long as the math works out. So, the final point that I'm making is, the categorical imperative says morality is universal, timeless, and without exceptions, like, basically a set stone of rules. Modern philosophy sometimes tries to smush consequentialism and utilitarianism and Kant's version of morality. Well, consequentialism is really flexible. Says morality is flexible, adaptive, and like based on outcomes. Just, you know, different variables lead to other variables. I think therefore I am. Hi, dear. Welcome in. But anyways, yes, consequentialism. Let me start over. Categorical imperative. Morality, universal, no exceptions. Consequentialism. Morality is flexible, based on outcomes. And like I was saying, I guess utilitarianism is like, okay, consequences matter, but we should still follow general rules most of the time because rules usually lead to the best outcomes. It's like consequentialism trying on Kant's wig and saying, hey, not bad. Meanwhile, Kant inspired thinkers sometimes admit that intentions aren't enough if you keep causing disasters by following rules too rigidly. So really, the problem ends like this. Kant says, wait your turn, no matter what. Consequentialists say, it depends who's in front of you, what their plans are, and how much joy or chaos you'll cause. And modern moral philosophy says, okay, let's just order a dozen croissants so no one has to fight. And that is my pitch. So Moka, where do you end in this three lovers quarrel? I would say I am very fond of modern philosophy, utilitarianism. Although I do really love Kant's morality. I do think it is a bit unconventional at times. I think it is very absurd to be asking so much of someone, you know? Just so I can never lie. I mean, it's really hard to not lie. I guess skill issue of sorts, but like, it's really hard to not lie. I mean, we lie every day. You know, I lied today. I said that we had sweet tea when we have unsweet tea. And I just poured a sugar packet in unsweet tea. And I stirred it around until it dissolved. And I served the sweet tea when we really just didn't have sweet tea. I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed, okay? I feel ashamed. You can love Kant, but could you be like Kant in this modern world? No, sorry, you cannot. No, you can't. I don't think I lied today. Good for you. You can be Kant, babies. You can be Kant, baby. A mix of all of this is the best. It's true. But I do think consequentialism is dumb. I think it's selfish. It's selfish. It's incredibly selfish. If you order a dozen croissants, everyone will still have to wait their turn. It's true. But then you'll get 12 dozen croissants. Ow, my hair just got stuck on my chair. Given that you working for this album produce sweet tea for the customer, then technically you did have sweet tea? Well, we didn't. And I lied. And I didn't want to go out and tell them that we didn't have any sweet tea. So I just did it. I showed my pride. Consequentialism is literally just the ends justify the means. But sometimes we don't know if the means justify the ends. Have you ever thought about that? Have we ever thought about that? No, we haven't. And this is why we should all be utilitarianism. This is why we should all be utilitarianists. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. What do we think about my presentation? Not to toot my own horn. I think I did good. Actually, very fascinating. Guys, this is all that I have learned in class. These past 2 days. I think it is very nice. It's super nice. Want to rant, but I'm shackled. It is hard. Very informative and thinkable. I love it. I want more. I think I'm mostly for utilitarianism. Same. I am for utilitarianism. An interesting discussion. An interesting brain to do. Thank you, Sky, for the scribble member. What would you say to the idea that because no one can truly know the ends before they occur, you can only know the good of the... What would I say to the idea that because no one can truly know the ends before they occur, you can only know the good of the moral process you engage in, aka the rules, aka Kant? I would say that I do believe I agree with the point. Kant makes a really good point by saying that we cannot predict the outcomes of stuff. So that way we should follow a template of stuff to do that avoids us many unwanted situations. I mean, we wouldn't want to make people unhappy in like the croissant line, if you know what I mean. We just don't really know. We can't just be playing mind games. We can't just be guessing. And I think we should follow the rules. And this is where it gets tricky. Because then if we always follow the rules as per Kant states, then it would be, maybe it would be a better world. Maybe it would be easier to maneuver situations like the croissant situation. But I do believe that we really can't predict the outcome of a situation fully, which is why I think consequentialists are full of shit. I disagree. And I do think that we should never lie. Thank you, Kant. Thank you, Kant from Königsberg. Thank you. I hope that answered your question. I kind of just reiterated your point. But I would say, you're right. You're right. We can't predict the outcome. Who are we to assume that something is going to happen? You know? What if Kant was lying and never actually believed any of it? Then that would be insane. Because I subscribe to his own moral ideology a lot. Germans are also predisposed to be very brutally honest. This is like the second time someone says Germans are like super dead honest. It's crazy to think about. Can't even watch VTuber models. No, can't my immersion. No, can't. No. Kant is ruining my life. Lying can be good situationally. It is true. It's true. Sometimes it's better to not tell the truth. But of course, we can't live our lives sugarcoating and making stuff easier for other people. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to tell the wife of the husband that just died in a car crash that he died. You can't just be saying, we're working on it, man. We're doing everything we can. We're doing everything we can. His vitals look stable. Meanwhile, he's dead on the table. You can't just do that. You can't just do that. I mean, it's gotta come eventually. Our ventilators, not the trillers, utilitarians, they prioritize people's happiness above all else. Well, they're prioritizing other people's happiness, but they're actively causing harm in communities. And if everyone else sold fence and made it normal, then the human race as we know it will be out in the streets doing the zombie walk. You know, slumped over like how they are in Pennsylvania. And the utilitarian dealer would use a better, more expensive one with a better, longer-lasting high with fewer negative effects. True! Although the negative effects will still hold true to the issue. You can't please them all. You really can't please them all. I can be like Kant if I live in the middle of nowhere. I imagine saying the truth. Imagine saying the truth all times. I'll be the Kant, the cunt. Kant, the cunt! Yes. Kant is called the cunt a lot of the times, but it's because he's German. He's German. What's a German word I know? I don't know any German words. I wanted to make a funny German joke, but I can't. Boom! Pun! No pun intended. I can't. I just can't. This is so painful. Danke. That means thank you in German. Does it? But yeah, I would like to be the Kant of a little country. That would be pretty funny. Good one, Moka. I think therefore I can't. Thank you. I can't. Anyways, that is what I have learned in my class so far. I have an exam on this in like 2 days, so pray for me, guys. It is getting late though, and I must blast. I wish I could talk to you guys more about this, but I just have to get it off my chest. I have to get it off my chest. I have to get it off my chest. But I hope my power doesn't go out tomorrow either. I hope my power doesn't go out, period. I propose calling people who are too truthful cunts. Yes, they are cunts. They're a cunt. Okay, I don't know. I see the word war. And I don't know if I can say it, considering the state of Germany in 1953. So you use this for the exam. No, I didn't. I wanted to be cool and talk about something. I wanted to freaking show my Oni-chan that I am capable of thinking deeply. I'm a smart little girl, okay? I'm a smart little girl. Thank you for the donut. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Moka, cant. Could I? They call her. No one knows Kant's philosophy lecture. She took an exam and everyone says she's the most Kantian in the whole school. It is true. So please pray for me. Please pray that I next try Camus. Camus is a pretty cool guy. I don't know how I feel about absurdism. You know, I did feel like Sisyphus today. I always feel like Sisyphus. Sisyphus. I always feel like Sisyphus. Because just wants to show off how smart she is. It's true. I do love Camus though. My mother died today. I guess. Or so I think. Je ne sais plus. What a little weird lad, you know. What's it called? The Stranger, the Outsider. That book was a really good read. Super good read. Same with, what other book did he write? The Myth of Sisyphus. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. One must imagine Sisyphus as a little girl streaming to her little big brothers. About, whoa, I'm getting deja vu. I've said this line before. I have said this before. One must imagine Sisyphus. Moka kurai. Moka kant kurai. Merry Christmas, Moka. Thank you, girl. And a very Merry Christmas in July for you too. Moka is her favorite sis. It's true. I'm the only sis. I'm the only sister. That matters. Lie, feel bad. True, feel good. Equals solve. That is consequentialism. Whoa, you have cracked the code. You've cracked the code. Boom. That is consequentialism in a nutshell. Was sis naked in a barrel? No, I'm not Diogenes. I'm not a little cynical hobo that, I think someone said earlier, did Diogenes, talk bad about Alexander the Great to him? I think he did. Maybe? I'm not sure. I'll have to fact check my sources on that one. But okay. It's time for me to head to bed. I have my exam on Friday, so pray for me. Hold on, can I please zoom in? I'm talking about in it. I wish I could stick my tongue out. I'm thinking about in it. But I hope this late night talk haunts you forever. And I hope that you think about the categorical imperative and think about morality and think about if you're a good person or not and think about if you're lying and think about the adverse consequences to lying, and think about the adverse consequences to telling the truth, and think about the adverse consequences to living life, and think about croissants, and think about everything, and think about how you should never lie, and how you should think about how utilitarianism is really good, and how consequentialism is really dumb and stupid, and it's really evil, and maybe sometimes philosophy can't be a math equation, and sometimes you just can't really know what the person in front of you at the line at Starbucks knows or is going through, and you don't know if he's a landlord that is about to raise everyone's rent, and you don't know what the consequences of your actions will be. So, maybe you should be like Kant, and maybe you should just mind your own business, and maybe just not cut the line, and not derail like the whole societal structure of society, and maybe you should just be a normal person, maybe just follow the rules of the road, and maybe you shouldn't cut people off on the road either, and maybe you should just be normal, and maybe you should always be nice, and maybe you should always follow every single rule, and maybe you should follow the government and never question what the government does. Just never question anything, never ask any questions, just follow blindly, just never lie, follow blindly, never lie, just never think, okay, just get a lobotomy. Just get a lobotomy, guys. Just get a lobotomy. Just get a lobotomy. Anyways. Ow! Oh my god. I just stabbed myself with my end of my chair. But I feel the swirls in my eyes. You feel the swirls in your eyes? You feel the swirls in your eyes? Never think, never lie, never think, never lie, never think, never lie, never think, never lie. No. You believe that you should never lie. Oh, you should always take the moral high ground. Oh, yes. If you look into my eyes, you will be, never a liar, and you will be normal, and you will never succumb to the adverse consequences of society. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. This is actually hypnotizing me. I'm glad. I tend to have that effect on people. Anyways, if you would like to say bye, Moka, I would say bye to you back. So everyone, if you're here and not lurking, or if you're lurking and want to say bye, I'll say bye in your name. I'll say bye. Everyone say bye, Moka. Everyone say bye, Moka. Chop, 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 chop. Bye, Moka. Moka isn't buying herself. Bye, Moka. Bye. Bye? Bye? Bye, Moka? Bye, T-Rex. Bye, Trinity. Bye, Mr. Rain 88. Bye, Asteroid. Bye, Tsunami. Bye, The Grey Hamster Man. Bye, Flat 042. Bye, Goy. Bye, Mr. Ku. Bye, Dragon. Bye, JLo01. Bye, Single Question Mark. Bye, Creepy Ocean. Bye, Editor Mode. Bye, Skyland DL. Bye, Asteroid. I said your name twice. I knew it. I had to read back. No, you can't do fraud like this. Thank you for the super. Thank you for the super. No, Bye. Avinator. That took me a second. Avinator. Bye, Snack. And bye, Pony. Atsu, never lie, cheese. Never lie. 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 Good night. Bye. Bye, the mighty clan. Bye. Bye, Expervit. Never lie. 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 The lies are bad. Never lie. Do not get consumed by so sorry.